Tonight, when you open your fridge and find it empty, you groan. You order food. You wait 20 minutes. Mild inconvenience solved. But the real answer to what your body does when food disappears is far stranger. Your body doesn't just get hungry, it becomes a completely different machine. Your ancestors didn't have fridges, they didn't have delivery apps. For most of human history, starvation wasn't a rare event. It was a season. Winter came, herds moved, rivers froze, and your ancestors' bodies had to answer one brutal question. How do you survive when there is simply nothing left to eat? The answer starts with fat, not muscle. Fat first. Your body stores energy in fat cells specifically so it can burn through them before touching anything essential. Think of fat as the wood pile beside the house. You burn that before you start tearing boards off the walls. When food vanished, your ancestors' bodies switched into what scientists call ketosis. The liver starts breaking down fat into molecules called ketones. Ketones become the new fuel for the brain. This wasn't some rare glitch. It was a built-in survival mode, present in your body right now, waiting. But fat only lasts so long. What happened next? This is where things get uncomfortable. Once fat reserves ran low, the body began breaking down muscle. Not because it wanted to, because it had no choice. Protein from muscle tissue gets converted into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. Your brain demands a steady stream of sugar to function, and if there's no food coming in, the body will cannibalize itself to keep the brain alive. Literally, your own legs, your own arms, sacrifice tissue by tissue to protect the organ making the decisions. In 1944, a researcher named Ancel Keys ran an experiment that revealed exactly how far this goes. He recruited conscientious objectors during World War II, men who volunteered to be semi-starved for months so scientists could study the effects. The results were chilling. Men became obsessed with food. They dreamed about it. They hoarded recipes. Some collected cookbooks despite having nothing to cook. Their personalities changed. Irritability spiked. Depression set in. And their metabolism slowed dramatically. Trying to protect the body from a famine their minds knew was really just a lab experiment. Keys called it semi-starvation neurosis. Your ancestors lived that neurosis for real, sometimes for weeks at a time. So what did they actually eat when it got that bad? Everything. Truly everything. Bone marrow, cracked open with rocks, was a prized meal because fat hides inside bones long after the meat is gone. Insects, grubs, larvae, roots dug from frozen ground with sharpened sticks. Bark, in some documented cases, stripped and boiled to extract whatever nutrients it held. Lichen, rotting fruit that had fallen from trees weeks earlier. Nothing was beneath consideration. Disgust is a modern luxury. When your body is breaking down its own muscle, a grub stops looking disgusting and starts looking like a miracle. Anthropologist Kristen Hawkes spent years studying the Hadza, a hunter-gatherer community in Tanzania whose lifestyle offers a living window into ancient survival strategies. Her research revealed something surprising. During lean seasons, it wasn't the big game hunters who kept the group alive, it was the grandmothers. Older women who could no longer hunt spent their days digging tubers, roots buried deep in dry soil that required immense skill and strength to extract. These tubers became a critical fallback food, especially for children when meat was scarce. This became known as the grandmother hypothesis, and it reshaped how scientists understand the evolution of long human lifespans. Survival wasn't just about strength. It was about knowledge, patience, and the wisdom to know exactly where to dig when everyone else came home empty-handed. Fire changed the entire equation too. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham has argued that cooking may be the single most important survival technology your ancestors ever developed. Cooked food yields far more usable calories than raw food. A cooked root delivers energy your body can actually absorb. A raw one might pass through you almost untouched. Wrangham's cooking hypothesis suggests that controlling fire didn't just make food taste better. It may have allowed the human brain, an organ that consumes a staggering share of the body's total energy, to grow as large as it did. Without fire, some scientists argue, there might not have been enough spare calories to build the brain you're using to understand this sentence right now. But hunger does more than reshape the body. It reshapes the mind. Extreme hunger triggers a cascade of stress hormones, including cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals sharpen focus in the short term. A starving hunter doesn't feel calm. He feels laser-focused, hyper-aware of every rustle in the grass, every shift,